Hello, I'm Roger Walton. I'm Methodist President this year, and I'm here at 3Generate. I'm having a fantastic time with children and young people with lots of energy. And this morning I've been involved in a session called Speak Out. And here with me is Abigail and Manuela and Isabel. And they've been involved in this session too. So I'm going to find out what they found out and you might find out what we did together. So Abigail. You were in the session this morning. What did you find out about the president of the conference?
I found it quite interesting about this sort of pendant that you wore around your neck and what the symbol meant and how sort of the religious theme evolved around it and stuff.
Yeah. What did you think was on the symbol, just for folk who've not had a chance to see it? Just explain what's on the symbol.
At first glance, I thought it might be like a bag of like straw or hay and like a tub. But then I found out it was like sort of water bowl with like a cloth, and it represented something to do with God and the disciples.
So Manuela, you were in the session and we were talking about being president. I wonder would you fancy being president of the Methodist Church?
Actually, at the beginning when we were starting the session, I didn't want to, but then I realised I think it'd actually be something quite fun to go meet other people and tell them why it's important to be who you are and follow the rules. So I think it'd actually be fun to be the president.
Great. Now, Isabel, when we were in the session together, we were talking about the kind of important issues that the church wants to speak about, and the young people were identifying important issues that the church should be involved in, speaking to the government about, making a change. Just give us some of those issues. What were the issues that were important to young people?
Well, there's issues like there's homeless people who would really need a home to stay in and eat and sleep there, and there's like from the church, you could help people who have issues with stuff.
There were one or two other issues, weren't there? People talked about stopping war and trying to do things for people who were poor. And what was the most important issue for you?
Well, mostly that it's really sad that there's poor people, and I would really want to help them as well.
Yeah, and you think the church should be involved. I wonder whether in your life sometimes you see poor people. Do you sometimes see people living on the streets? Or?
Yes, sometimes in London, and sometimes I'll give them a bit of money to help.
Right, okay. Manuela, now let's go back to being president. So supposing you were going to be president, I wonder where you'd like to go and what you'd like to do.
There's so many places in the world where I'd like to go, but I think I would probably go... I wouldn't want to go too far, but if I could, I'd want to go near the north of Africa, because when I went there for a holiday when I was a child, there was lots of people living on the streets, I was just went there, so I didn't have money to give them, and I thought it was pretty unfair that there's so many rich people in the world, and you just walk past seeing somebody on the street. It's not really fair to me. Yeah.
And in North Africa and into the Middle East, there are many people who are refugees at the moment, aren't there?
Yeah.
We saw some when we were in Jordan, and I wonder what you think the church should be doing in relation to people who are refugees.
If I was the president, I'd make sure that we could speak to other people, hoping that we could make a change in other people's lives, like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And Abigail, well, you've also been thinking about what it might be like to be president. In fact, I think you were president for a few seconds, weren't you? Yeah, you put the chain on, didn't you? And you were president. What big change would you make in the world if you were president?
A few changes I would make would be helping people who don't have the ability or resources to help themselves in a way, as in they can't eat or they can't drink. And I'd stop poverty by helping people, and I'd make sure everyone could be kind to each other, and I don't see why they should be violent when they can just settle it in a calm way.
So we need to be building communities which are kind and welcoming and inclusive, don't we? Yeah. Well, I think, just talking to the three of you, Abigail, Manuela, Isabel, I think each of you could be a president of the Methodist Church. And I think you bring great things to it. So thank you for talking to me.
No problem.